Welcome back, everybody. Dave the Gamer here. Today wanted to talk about 3 budget decks that you can make that is not going to crush your dust. So these decks are not only just cheap, but they're still good, going from diamond even into legendary. So I highly recommend starting with these decks to really help climb the ladder. Let's dive in a little bit closer. First off, I'm talking about the Demon Hunter. The Demon Hunter, specifically the Ball Hog, is the main card that you want to be playing. So all of the decks I speak about, their card codes will be down below in the description, but I wanted to really highlight these decks because this is what I used in the beginning to climb much quicker than normal. So if you look at some of the cards off to the side, very standard set of cards that I'll quickly hover over that you can kind of see. And then I'll highlight some of the big things. So what's nice is you have some nice board wipe coming out of Immolation Aura and Infiltrate. So these are very great. Then you get into, and you also have lots of dormant Dreadsteeds that are also doing a lot of damage. So the Ball Hog is definitely one of the biggest cards that you want to get in your main hand. So you want to get either like a Ball Hog, these Studies, the Tusk Piercer, stuff like that in your main hand, the Grim Harvest, so you can draw cards and get to the Ball Hog if you did not get the Ball Hog. And then essentially you get into some other things like Dangerous Cliffside, helps you get some like little charging pirates out there, Defiled Spear that you can pump up with the Chaos Strike, so then you're hitting multiple targets. You have the Ravelous Fell Hunter that is going to summon 2 Ball Hogs back for you, especially when you use the return policy. That's how you're going to get more of those out. The Climbing Hook is great for a little extra burst damage, and you don't lose any durability as long as you have a Fell Hunter out. Cliff Dive brings 2 mobs to... Cliff Dive brings 2 of your minions back out to the floor so you can actually burst and do a ton of extra damage. So with this, you want to combo it. Essentially, like when this comes out, if you get like say the Inquisitor, you want to attack their health so the Inquisitor also attacks the health and does 8 damage. Now, the only legendary in here is this guy right here, this big bad boy. But if he is pulled through Cliff Dive, he instantly goes dormant and doesn't go back in your deck. So it's amazing. Now, if Cliff Dive grabs something like your Fell Hunter, you want to attack a minion, so then it dies, spawns out the Ball Hogs, and then the Ball Hogs stay. So that's kind of the gameplay to it. Everything's behind the Ball Hog, which is an amazing card that is not only healing you when it comes out because it's doing damage. They hit you, it heals, and then when it dies, it heals. So it has a potential to heal 9 damage, which is insane, plus deal 3 damage, plus the 3 attack. So for 4, it is just such a strong card. This is a great counter versus any rush decks. Let's look into the next deck. The second deck I want to talk about is the Death Knight, specifically the hand buff Death Knight. This one only has 1 legendary, which is the Nightmare Lord, and is still a great deck. This will struggle a little bit more into legendary, but will definitely help you climb the ladder the whole way into legendary. It just struggles once you get up there. I'll highlight some of the cards, talk about what you're looking to do, but essentially what you're trying to do is use your Puppeteer to boost all of your undead in your hand by +2. So the combo is you want to kind of wait till like turn 7 if possible. So then you can get the Brittle Bone down, then the Puppeteer, and it gives it Reborn. So then you get another +2. Then when you use the Amateur Puppeteer, it's a miniaturized version. So ideally, turn 8 would be the best of all worlds, because then you would be able to give Reborn to your main one plus the miniaturized one. So then you would essentially buff your hand +8 by just this 1 amateur puppet. Then you can get another one later and do it again. Other ways to buff your hand, you have the Lesser Spindle Spellstone. That's going to buff your hand +1 to +3 depending on how long you have it. Then, your Dread Handlers, you'll see this get up to like +20, which is insane. You're in the big parts is you're buffing up these cards that can basically summon multiple copies. So this summons a copy. Then you have, where's the other one here? Then you have this one that summons 2 copies. When these things are buffed up massively, it's ridiculous. You drop one of these and it's 3 2020s. It's insane. As far as a board wipe goes, you have the Dark Thorn that you put the Poison Breath on. So then when it shoots, everything it hits after you end your turn, it ends up killing. So awesome board wipe. You have this guy, the Toy Snatching, that is, you're going to use this to basically get other cards. Ideally, the card you want to go after is another Amateur Puppeteer. That's the one you really want to discover. If you get lucky and get that, that's amazing. And whatever the attack level is, it's going to reduce the cost of that card. So 9 times out of 10, that card's free. You have, so continuing on, you got the Blood Tap to give you some health. You have the Chill Fallen Baron to give you some more cards. The Rainbow Seamless Seamstress. So this one's great. Once you get this buffed up, it's Life Steal with Rush, and it'll be like 2020. So you instantly go from 0 health to max health just with this card alone. Other than that, you have the Infestation. This is going to help draw some cards. That's really all it's for. And then you have the Gnome Muncher. The Gnome Muncher, when it's pumped up, if you can get this when it's the only card on the board, even though it's not your turn to attack yet because you just dropped it, it's going to attack the lowest health enemy. And if that's the opponent, boom, it hits so hard. So this deck is very fun to play with, and it's not very expensive at all to build, and you will definitely be able to climb the ladder. Let's look at the third and final deck. Alrighty, looking at the third and final deck, the Warlock. Specifically the Dark Gift Warlock. Now this one does have 3 legendaries, and really you can maybe get away with shaving off the Lord if really need be. The biggest one is the Wallow of the Wretched. Summoner of Dark Morrow is important. You could, like I said, you could maybe get away without the Lord. That's not going to be the end of the world. It does stink because it does give you another card with Dark Gift, which plays into this whole deck. But most decks are going to run anywhere from 5 to 8 legendaries. So for this one to only run 3, that's why I kind of put it last. The first 2 were, much more affordable. This one's still not terrible. But diving in a little bit deeper and looking a little closer. And first off, if you want to see any of the gameplay on these, just look on my channel. I have a gameplay for every single deck that I talk about with the game codes and everything. So the whole point is this card. So it gains every copy of a Dark Gift that you've given to your minions. So essentially you want to give all kind of different Dark Gifts to your minions, and then late game you pop this bad boy out. And not only does it take the Dark Gift, but also the power itself. So you'll pop this thing out, it'll be like a 30-30 with Divine Shield, Wind Fury, just all sorts of craziness. And then it's like a TKO. It just wipes it out in 1 turn. That's the ideal way to do it. So looking at some of the cards, Conflag, Consume, it has a couple of ways to kind of board wipe. And you're really looking, so the struggle with this deck is super early game pressure. So you do have some ways to board wipe, but not that many. So like your Hellfire is one of your board wipes. You have this Cavern with combination of the Consume to heal you up, and it also can do 1 damage. It has some taunts, nothing crazy though. So it really definitely, you definitely want to really shine versus your late game decks. Your super pressure, like your priests right now, is going to definitely give you a little bit of troubles overall. But like I said, I've used this even into Legendary last season, and it worked perfectly. So it does struggle a little bit harder in Deep Legendary, but this is a great budget deck overall. Like I said, it is 3 legendaries. I know that's not completely free. You could really probably get away with 2, but this is a very strong deck to really be able to climb the ladder. Let me know below if you have any let me know below if any of the cards in the 3 decks that I showcased that you would interchange some items. Be very specific. I'm always looking to improve any way I can. I've tested these ones out a ton of times with great success, but I'm always looking to improve it even further. Hopefully this was helpful, Until next time, game on.